Samantha Cochran, great to see you again. Welcome back to Popternative.
Thank you again for having me. Good to see you again too.
It's exciting. We are talking about The Cure, which is
Yes.
now available in North America on VOD via Vertical Entertainment and also available in the UK via Signature Entertainment, which is so exciting. It's crazy that it's finally out that we could talk about it now.
I know. I feel like it's been literally forever.
And it's out and everything. Can you talk about seeing that kind of blend of like sci-fi body horror when you read the script for this, even before kind of going and filming it, so to speak?
Yeah, I feel like when I first read the script, this was actually my first audition I ever did with my agency, fun fact. So
Wow.
it was definitely a crazy first audition to have when you read the instructions of like, must be okay wearing a bald cap, must be okay with yeah, I was like, oh, okay, fun. But yeah, when I read it, I was like, wow, this story is bananas. And it is just such a hard and crazy character to take on. But I was honestly just really intrigued by all of it. I mean, I think the story's really neat and the whole sci-fi thriller of it, it's so fun, you know?
How did you balance the coming of age component with the kind of body horror and
Mhm.
the fact that, your on-screen
Yeah,
parents are like, lying to you about
right.
a lot of things, right? Because those are like two different
Yeah.
storylines that eventually come to one. But like, what was that like preparing for those two things?
I think it's so different because I feel like I think my friendship or the relationship between Allie and Brooke is honestly like my favorite part of the whole movie itself. I think that was really fun to explore. And obviously I was really grateful to have an amazing actress to play opposite Sydney Taylor. She's so sweet and amazing. But yeah, it's fun to kind of like you said, experiment with that like YA friendship and then also the other side of it being like this crazy thing. But I don't know. I think just allowing myself to mm, just like play in every area of that. I don't know. It was kind of fun. It kind of just like was so different, but it made it fun.
There's a lot of scenes where it's your character in her bedroom, like looking at surveillance cameras and everything. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
scenes where you're alone, right? Looking at everything.
Yeah.
And, your on screen parents, tell you that there's a lot of situations where you can't be around people and everything and keep you in certain areas. Is it
Mhm.
like filming those scenes where it was just you compared to like ensemble scenes? Like, was it a different kind
Yeah.
of preparation and mindset?
I think, yeah, I think it puts it allows you to feel like what Allie's feeling, like that it was lonely and it wasn't as fun. Like, it's hard because I feel like her character, she's going through so much. And I think that's why I really enjoyed the scenes where it was like with Sydney or Ashley or David, because Allie longs for that human connection and she feels so lonely inside. So like filming those scenes, obviously, it's like it's hard because it's like, yeah, like you feel for her and it's like she is lonely.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just you really feel for her, I feel
Yeah.
in that. Yeah.
Absolutely. You got to work with, incredible actors on this. David
Yeah.
and Ashley were your on-screen parents. Like, what was that like working with them?
Literally. Well, first of all, they're both incredible, but I just remember it was like my first day and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I never been on a movie set before. I was, to be honest, crapping my pants. And I was just really fortunate to have people that were so experienced and kind and very welcoming and everyone was amazing. I mean, they made it so easy and they made it safe and comfortable for me to just, play the character and take on that role because I mean, I just remember being very intimidated when I initially first walked into set, but after the first day I was like, "Oh, I'm fine. Like this is going to be epic." They're all so incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you book The Cure, you do this movie,
Mhm.
and then you book VHS Halloween.
Yes.
Is that how? Yeah. And then you're part of that Coochie Coochie Coo segment, which we've talked about, which is still
Yeah.
one of the scariest things. I can't wait to like revisit that. We're gonna snap our fingers. It's gonna be October again. You know
I
what I
know,
mean?
right?
Um, but But like how I'm wondering like how separate are past things compared to something like this? Like, do you bring mindsets or preparation to something like The Cure to VHS Halloween? Do you bring things from VHS Halloween to the K-pop film that you just wrapped, or are they all separate projects once you wrap them?
No, absolutely. I feel like every project that I've worked on, I've learned a lot of valuable lessons, whether that be, I don't know, I think the horror genre specifically, it's funny because I tell people it's like you can't really prepare yourself for those types of projects because you've never actually been in those situations as a human being.
Yeah.
It's like supernatural things or just crazy situations that my characters have been in. And so having to learn to channel that fear or, just kind of play that type of character, it's hard. And I feel like with each project, it kind of allows me to learn. I don't know, I've learned so many valuable lessons from each of my projects, and I definitely carry those lessons onto my other projects that I've done for sure, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Cure, there was a lot going on. Like I said, there
A
was,
lot
you were
going
saying
on.
in the beginning, like the baiting cap and like the swimming and
Right.
all that,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
the blood. Like, there's a lot going on,
It's crazy
and
boots.
I'm wondering, can you speak to what it was like when you wrapped the project? Because I
Yeah.
feel like that depending on the project and depending
Mhm.
on the like type of shooting and everything, like what was it like? Did you need a break? Were you like, okay, what's the next project? Like, what was that like wrapping the Cure?
Yeah. Gosh, it was, like, so long ago, I'm, like, trying to remember, but I think I definitely felt I mean, to be honest, I felt exhausted because I think playing a character like that takes a toll on you, Like,
Mm,
she has a lot of emotional levels to her, and I feel like she's just obviously going through so much physically, emotionally, so I remember when I wrapped, I was like I feel like I get really connected to the characters I play as well, and I think I really did, like, empathize with her, and when I wrapped, I was kinda just like, "Damn, like, I am exhausted," and, like, I feel for her so much, but I just remember feeling really like, obviously emotional, but obviously really excited for what's to come. I think that The Cure was a great introduction of, like, the horror scene and all, like, the psychological thriller, and I was like, "This is" I think The Cure reminded me of why I do this, and it was such a unique and fun opportunity to get to do some crazy shit, and it was awesome, and I was yeah, like you said, I was just really excited for the next project and what's next to come. It was awesome.
was it more fun or challenging playing a character like, that coming of age component, that self-reflection, figuring things out, finding her like figuring out herself, figuring out her friends. I mean,
Mhm.
especially in this situation, there's a lot of kind of like this character is doing a lot of detective work, right? Figuring out what the
Yeah,
heck's going on, right?
right.
With her
Mhm.
parents and everything. What was that like playing a character that like you feel like at times knows what's going on and then at times like doesn't know what's going on? Like, is it more fun? Is it
Right.
more challenging? Because from the viewer perspective, like these lost characters don't know they're lost. So I'm interested in that.
100%. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's definitely both. I think it's really fun to get to well, one, it's fun to and the makeup and the hair department and everybody did such an amazing job, but it's so fun to play a character that's so opposite of who you are because I feel
Mhm.
like that's the challenge in it, And also being able to look in the mirror and literally not recognize yourself, it's fun. But the challenging aspect of it too is playing someone that's sick, having to, study up on lupus and the physicality of everything. Everything was very intentional when it comes to her character. She's a very complex character, I feel. And like you said, like battling those emotions. She doesn't know that she's lost, but she is lost. It is definitely challenging, but it's also real. I feel like she's an average teenager that just wants to be a normal girl and she wants to live a normal life. And like I can relate to that. Like when I was in high school, I was like, I just want to be a girl. But yeah, no, I think it was definitely both challenging and very fun as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. I did kind of want to ask you about conversations because there's always going to be conversations that happen throughout the process of making the cure. Before you go to production, pre-production, you're gonna have a lot of conversations. When you get there on set, the day, there's gonna be a lot of conversations. A lot of your conversations, depending on the project and this and the timelines, are gonna be continuing on, and you're gonna have more conversations with like the director Nancy and the producers Bo and John. Maybe before you actually go to production, or like maybe the first couple of days of production, and then your cast, you're gonna have conversations with them throughout the whole entirety of filming The Cure. When did the conversations happen the most? Like the creative conversations for The Cure with this project? Was it before? Was it during? Like, I'm curious about that.
I think it was definitely during.
Yeah.
I think everything kind of happened really fast, actually. I think I booked the project and I started like a couple weeks after. So the preparation time was very short on my end. But yeah, no, I think it was definitely when I was on set,
Mhm.
just getting, direction in the moment and all that conversation, like you're saying, definitely like on set and during filming for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. I did kind
Mhm.
of want to ask before we wrap, go like super quick, going back to VHS Halloween, because when we did the interview for VHS Halloween, it wasn't out. So we can't
Oh
talk,
yeah.
we couldn't talk about like the reception, but like I was right. Like people that saw it like were terrified of it. What was it like, the reception of that? Like seeing that reception once it was out around Halloween.
It was crazy. I mean, I think VHS is literally, again, like I said in the last interview, I had no idea like how like screwed up it was. I loved it. It was like such a niche and different like I filming that was so much fun.
Yeah,
Like The Cure and VHS. I mean, I'm so lucky to have so many great projects that I've been able to work on. I'm very grateful, but it's very VHS was crazy. And the way that people I remember like when I went to the premiere, like the crowd, the energy, everyone was just like loving it. And it was really cool. I loved it. It's awesome. Yeah.
absolutely. Let's be honest, the giant baby's still rent free in our minds.
It's rent free. Like go to bed, wake up, see the giant baby in my dream.
Giant baby.
Yes. Horrifying.
It was so scary.
It's so
That's
scary.
that scream of the baby.
It's, it's
Like
crazy. And he's like also like the nicest guy ever. And I'm like, here in a diaper. I'm scared.
I
Like,
was
what's
trying to
going?
show people the segment, and like my friends were like, "You can't show." Like we have friends that are really scared, and like we were like, "We can't show the coochie coochie coo at night because they won't be able to go to sleep."
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I know my poor grandma, she was watching it. She was like, "This is okay." I'm like, it's scary, right? She's
um,
great.
there's a
Funny.
lot of content. There's also the incredible, VHS Halloween Pop Turn digital cover we did with you and Natalia and Maddie, which
Yes.
was so cool.
Iconic. Iconic. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Loved
I
it.
know. Well, it's so cool because it's like every year now, because of Halloween, we could like repost those
Yeah,
photos,
100%. It's so
which is
cool.
amazing. The Cure is now available VOD in North America via Vertical Entertainment, and it is now on VOD in the UK via Signature, which is so exciting. Really cool that it's a Popternative Pictures film as well, which is so
Yes,
exciting. Um,
absolutely.
Samantha, great to see you again. Thank you so much
Good
for
to
your time.
see you.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me again. This is fun.
Absolutely. Your Instagram account is just your name, right? If people want to keep up to date with everything.
Yes, it's my name,
Awesome.
Samantha. Two
Yeah,
A's.
Samantha Cochran. But no, well, this has been Pop Turnative. YouTube.com/Pop Turnative. Our previous episodes, you can catch Samantha Cochran in The Cure, which is available now on VOD. Until next time, this is Samantha and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.